Hi, welcome to the Y'all Ain't Right podcast. I'm Brittany. I'm here with Tyler and Todd today. Okay, Todd, I don't know if you and Tyler have already talked about it, but Austin does officially have the best barbecue.
It's so good. No, I don't think we talked about it like at all. What the heck is this? Nick has got this thing, all kinds of...
The best barbecue.
It's such a subjective...
That I've had.
Like...
It was good.
Like, there's no, like, real hardcore, like, barbecue here. I shouldn't say none, but yeah, you ask 100 people, you're going to get 100 answers. Just the same
For
way.
sure.
In Charleston, it has some big names, too, and same thing there. You ask 100 people, you're going to get.
I've been to a lot of, like, barbecue places around, like, the East Coast and, like, really popular ones and stuff. And they've been good, and I've been like, oh, yeah, that's barbecue. But this place, oh, man.
It was good. It was really good.
Oh, man. They were slicing the brisket right there, and you could just see the juice coming out.
Yeah.
It was so tender. And a lot of times people want to, like, mess it up by making it too smoky. But it was, like, it wasn't even, like, crazy smoky.
Those are the best ones that are doing it right there. I mean, and I won't say that's all they do until they run out. You know, the other places that try to do other things, you know, I think you sacrifice, you know, because smokers are all in. They're like bakers, you know. It's a lifestyle, not just a flash in a pan and stuff like that. I mean, and
they served 100 people in 2 minutes. It was ran like a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And on the way in, we got cut off by an AI car. And Brett honked at him because he didn't know that it was an AI car. But, I mean, none of us knew. But we were in the turning lane, and it came up behind him. It was behind him in the turning lane, went around him, and turned into oncoming traffic to pull into the... I would have been scared to death if I were a passenger. So sketchy.
I think I would have been, too.
Yeah. It was funny because the comedians were all making fun of the AI cars.
Because I love to cut them off because they have to stop.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Austin was fun.
Is that a test city for the AI?
They've got a bunch of them, apparently, so they're in full use there.
Yeah. It's sketchy.
Did you guys go on one?
No, I didn't see any of them, but they did.
Driving around there was a nightmare. Like, the lanes were not obvious. It was like there were dots and things would just, and there wasn't like a long merge. It was basically just like, you're on the interstate kind of a thing. Huh. It was so sketchy.
And a lot of the left turns, it was like you had to cross 3 lanes of traffic, and it was like immediately left. So you're like off the ramp, aggressively driving through people and then turning. It was rough.
Now whenever I see Texas drivers, I'm like, okay, yeah. I get it.
Interesting.
You don't know better.
At least it's flat there and don't have to deal with hills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
mostly,
weather.
Yeah.
Other than probably heat.
Well,
how was it?
60 during the day and 32 at night. Yeah. So it was really, yeah.
Yeah, all the weeks leading up to it, it was like 70, 80 degrees. And then we got there during the cold front. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, she decides to have a birthday in the middle of like an Arctic blast.
Anyone go MIA or anything fun or missing?
No, we didn't lose anybody. All stuck together.
Yeah.
Although, again, I loved Austin, Texas, but 6th Street, it was as sketchy as people said. So that...
It was pretty sketchy.
Now, is that like their Broadway?
Basically, it's like the corner of their Broadway. Like if you were to go around the corner where all the crackheads are, that's it.
It was sketchy. So we definitely did not get separated, and it was obviously off season. But everybody on the street, everywhere we went, restaurants, bars, everything. They're like, hey, come inside. You can have free drinks. Hey, come here, come here, come here. Like, I've never had anybody, like, try to coax me into the business. Yeah. So it was kind of an empty city.
Yeah.
They do that a lot in New Orleans.
Yeah, see, that was new for me, too. I felt like I was walking through the mall trying to avoid those dead seesaw people. Like
head scratcher.
Yeah.
Candle.
I don't need a new straightener.
Yeah, they're like, sample, try this stuff. And Get out of here with all that.
But it was really fun.
The hustle is real. I'm glad you guys had a good time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You guys were very quiet on socials, and
We were
having
very
fun.
busy. Yeah.
now, did you guys fly down together?
We were supposed to. So
That's a sore subject.
I was going to
for Brittany.
say, I was like getting two different stories. I was like,
we were so we were supposed to leave out on like Saturday morning, and the snow was supposed to hit like starting Friday night. So we decided to leave out Friday morning, and
you changed your flight till Friday morning?
yeah. So we left out Friday morning. We were leaving before the snow started at all, and the flight booked up. Everybody had the same idea, like that hour. So that flight booked up. So he left like an hour or two after the snow started. And he got a direct flight. Well, we had a layover in Atlanta. Atlanta, the snow wasn't supposed to start for a few hours until after we left. The snow showed up a few hours early, and Atlanta is not equipped for snow. Yeah. So they had slush on the ground, and they stopped all incoming and outgoing planes for like a day and a half. So 10,000 of us were just living at this airport for a day and a half. No hotels, no car rentals. I was so fed up. I was ready to get a car and drive the rest of the way because they had canceled our flight 10 times. I didn't think we were ever going to leave. And luckily that didn't work out because we ended up making it and it was fine. But yeah, I had no trust that our flight was ever going to leave that airport.
And that's the whole reason I don't fly home at like Christmas or Thanksgiving is because I'm afraid I'm going to, have one of those where I'm stuck. And usually, I mean, it's a 8-9 hour drive, so by the time you leave early and have someone pick you up at the airport and stuff like that, then I wouldn't have a car there and stuff like that. But I'm always afraid of cancellations or holdovers, and then you miss because I don't think there's a direct flight from here to Pittsburgh. There used to be, but I'd have to go to Atlanta or something like that. So yeah, I'm always worried about that part. So.
Yeah, we had bad juju, and I probably won't be laying over in the Atlanta airport for at least a decade because I'm traumatized. So.
Now, where did you flew out of here?
Yeah.
We went to Nashville. Yeah, because you could get direct flights pretty easy there. So that was the plan in the beginning, and then.
But it all worked out because the original flight that we were supposed to be on got canceled, and we would have been a day late. We ended up making it there the correct day, even though we didn't make it there the day early like we were supposed to with Tyler. And there for a few minutes, I was not really sure if anyone was going to make it. But we all ended up making it the correct day, and it all worked out.
Were you the first one there?
Yeah, we were the only – I was the only one that got there a day early like we had.
Gotcha.
There were like 3 of us supposed to get there a day early.
So you had the Airbnb and a day early?
No, we booked it. So we were at the hotel. We were like, well, we're going. We were at the airport, and we were all exhausted. We were running on no sleep because we left here at like 1 a.m. to drive to Nashville because we had to be there 2 hours, and they were leaving at 5:25 in the morning.
But you all drove there together.
Yeah, we drove there together, and we were supposed to be on. We were supposed to be on the same flight.
Leave no one behind. Oops, we left everyone behind.
Well, Brittany threw a wrench in the plan because I thought I had an extra day, and she called me and said, "Hey, we moved our flight to 5:25 tomorrow morning. We're leaving tonight." I was like, "Oh my god!" So I had to hurry up and.
But luckily, you all got it booked because if you wouldn't have been on the phone when you were, it probably would have been sold out too, and you wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, I had to call because when I looked on the app, it was like an extra $500 to switch the flight ahead, and I called and talked to them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the app doesn't understand what you're trying to do. There's plenty of room." So they checked their flight, and it was sold out. And on the very next flight was 7:20, so 2 hours after they left, we got a flight, and they were like, "But I can put you on there, and there's plenty of room, and it's a direct flight." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. Do that. We'll leave right about the time the snow's supposed to start." And it started about 30 minutes before we boarded the plane. So when we got on the plane, I thought they were going to park us because by the time we got out there, we were on the runway in an hour before they got us off because they had to spray the plane with de-icer twice.
I kept hearing people or seeing people posting that they were sitting in planes waiting, not necessarily there, but that day or that weekend.
Yeah.
Listen, I was salty, and then once we got there, we meant to send you snaps and stuff, but once we got there, we were so busy and having fun that I don't think I touched my phone like at all. I took a few pictures,
I was
but
checking a couple times, and then I was like, when Tyler posted his, and then I didn't see yours, and then the next day I saw yours. You were still in Atlanta. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? I mean, I was literally like, huh?
Yeah, I was at the hotel like, when are you coming? She was like, well, because we had booked a shared room hotel. There was like 2 beds and a cot and all the things. And I was like, okay, that way we'll have a day early. We'll be able to be rested when we actually start the vacation. And they didn't get there. So we ended up at the hotel and we're just like, okay, well.
The best laid plans.
And knowing Tyler, he never left that hotel room.
We did not. I was so tired by then, though. But I couldn't sleep because I was trying to coordinate with them because it would be like, our flight is this time. And then it was like, wait, that one's delayed. Now it's this time. And it just like 6 or 7
10
flights.
cancellations.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fly at holidays.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to be in that mess.
Because they were supposed to be there. Like when they got there, they missed their connecting flight.
Right, and that's all.
And then that just triggered the domino effect of they were there for a day and a half.
Oh, God.
I felt really
Yeah,
bad.
that's why I don't do it.
But we made it, and we had fun.
It was
That's
a lot of
good.
fun.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And we got bumped up to first class on our way back because the
Did you
flight was
really?
so
Yeah.
empty. And they asked
All
if
of you?
anybody,
No.
me and Brett, they asked if anybody had a birthday or anniversary, and Brett's like, and and they're like, here, we'll upgrade your ticket and all this. And I was like, well, this is quite the change from the way down. But
And we landed an hour early somehow.
yeah. Yeah. So
Interesting.
karma. Anyway. Well, today we're talking about bikes, although it's probably not ideal biking weather right now.
Motorcycles?
Not a motorbike.
Oh.
Just a regular pedal bicycle.
Do they still have those? I thought they all went electronic.
Oh my gosh.
Come on now.
Yeah, they still have them. I have to pass them on the road all the time, especially driving around South Knoxville.
And
It's the worst.
South Knoxville. I love South Knoxville. Is known for their. We've got.
felt like she was looking for sympathy there.
We've got the urban wilderness, and we have Baker Creek, and I mean, there's like, if you go on YouTube, and I don't go on YouTube looking for these videos. Let's clarify. I'm usually subjected to them via.
Your husband?
Yes, but I've seen a lot where super famous mountain bikers come to Knoxville to ride the Baker Creek Trail. So I mean, they're really nice, and they've got them for all different difficulty levels. Not that I would know, because again, I can't ride a bike, so it doesn't matter. But
That still blows my mind.
I can ride a stationary bike,
That doesn't count.
or I can do a tricycle. Brett tried to ask me if I could roller skate, and I was like, pfft. If you've got wheels involved, count me out.
I used to roller skate all the time when I was little, and then like last year we went with a bunch of friends to the roller rink, and I'm like, I got this. Couldn't even stand.
I used to rollerblade a lot, but we used to go church night or something. I remember going. Can you ride a motorcycle? Have you
I
ever?
have never been on a motorcycle.
Okay, so I was just checking on 2 wheels here.
I am so scared of everything.
We need to start you off on one of the, what do they call the new starter bikes now without pedals? Coasters?
The
or-
Strider bikes.
Is that what they are, Strider bikes?
I have no idea.
We're thinking about getting one
We'll
of those.
start
for
you on
Bellamy.
that one, and then we'll get you on training wheels, and we'll get you on.
But here's the
mountain bike.
thing: I've
You can-
officially made it to the 3rd decade of my life, and at this
When's
point,
the last
I
time you
kind
broke
of
a bone?
don't want to. I've never broken a bone.
Never?
Never.
I broke a toe. Well, my mom broke my toe, but that's the only bone I've ever broken. Knock on something, because I don't want to break anything.
I've broken a few. Interesting.
And I was a rough kid. I don't know. I had strong bones.
You actually took your vitamins back then.
I
Drank
guess.
some milk.
I did drink a lot of milk back then, so that's
Raw milk.
Probably
probably
were outside and had a little bit of color in you.
yeah. No. Hot.
Red.
That's just my natural skin. It's always red.
Might want to get that checked. Get that rash checked.
No rash.
Yeah, I think. Well, okay. I say I have no interest in riding a bike, which is true. But if Bellamy learns how to ride a bike, and then him and Brett are going places, I don't know. It might be.
Yeah. I've seen the pros. I used to network, and one of our guys' sons went pro and would do when they do the wooden and all that stuff. I guess it's downhill mountain biking of some sort. There's all kind of different, but yeah, I know it's huge around here now. So
yeah,
I used to ride a bike. I had a sweet 10-speeder. I just shared that picture the other day.
What does it mean to have a 10-speed? Like, what does that even mean?
It's
how
10
hard
different
you have
speeds.
to pedal?
Yeah, so those 10-speeders, at least back in my day, were modeled after they look like the bikes that people ride when they're doing the Tour de France and stuff like that, the touring. They have the smaller, skinnier wheels, they're lighter, and then you got your mountain biking that they have a lot of gears now too. But back in the day, they probably were like 3 speeds or 7, and they just had fatter tires and beefier suspension and stuff like that. But now they probably have a ton of speeds. They're super light. They do have bigger tires and stuff like that, but they're like so beefy now, and they can handle those jumps and stuff like that.
I feel like I'm going to fall over. Like everybody, whenever they say that this is the height that you need to ride it,
Well, you gotta.
I can't touch I have to lean sideways to touch the
Yeah,
ground.
it's probably a little
That's
too
sketchy.
high, or get off your seat.
Yeah.
Because if you try to sit, your feet shouldn't touch when you're in the seat.
What? See, that feels like a tumble waiting to happen.
Maybe just touch a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know the rules.
You should be able to at least tippy-toe the ground.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Just like a motorcycle, you see people leaning over too far, and that weight just starts taking you in.
Those things are heavy.
Yeah. A couple 100 pounds on a motorcycle, but on a bike. But I used to ride. I had one in college. I used to ride to class because just like most college campuses, things were stretched out. I remember I did a dismount one time. We had snow, and I was jumping from the sidewalk to the road, and just had a little bit of a groove, and it was snow, and that front tire slid on. My body went that way. I exited with the handle, landed, and had the bike to my side, kind of like a rodeo, like Toro, I mean, you couldn't have done it any more perfectly. I mean, I didn't get hurt at all. It scared the heck out of me, but, I just literally went flying, and Superman.
That's
X
so sketchy.
Games.
That had to be so cold riding a bike in the snow.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was out and about yesterday. I was
It's-
bundled up.
It's cold, and it's supposed to be really cold. It's not. It's supposed to be single digits.
Is it supposed to start going up tomorrow, though?
Not much.
We're inching up there. Every year I'm completely floored that we get cold weather in the wintertime. I keep thinking that I'm we live in Tennessee. It's fine.
It's not Florida.
And then, we get below 30 degrees and I go, oh, I have one winter coat and no winter clothes.
Yeah.
So we're going to layer spandex, I guess. I don't know.
I saw on Reels on Facebook or whatever, and it was a clip from the King of the Hill show, and they were all at a barbecue, and then it started snowing, and their little kid's like, what is this, ash on my face? And he's like, ash is falling from the sky. And then everybody started freaking out. They're like, it's snowing, we're not prepared for this. And cars were running into each other trying to get out of the parking lot and go home. It was so funny. And I'm
That's how I
like,
feel.
that's literally Tennessee.
Yeah. All the bread and milk. Well, did you ever have one of the Live Strong bracelets?
I remember them, but I didn't get one.
What?
Yeah, wasn't for me.
I don't know if I ever did either, but I had a pair of his shoes.
Were they bright yellow?
Bright yellow and black. They're probably my favorite because they matched my Steelers gear.
We have the same taste in shoes. It's kind of
I love them. I try to look for them all the time online. But
I don't think Todd wears the same size heels though.
That's true. That's true. He does
Those are
like
12s.
my heels, especially the open toe ones.
those hurt my calves.
No, I had one of the, I guess I was big. I was in, I don't know, elementary school or something like that. So I definitely was on the bandwagon. I had the Live Strong bracelets. I contributed to the cause.
Yeah, and then he got caught cheating.
Yeah, well, you can't see the future. He was trying to do a good thing.
Yeah, that's a lot of Tour de France winds being vacated. I don't know if he had to vacate them or what they did with them.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I know it was a big deal, and they disputed a lot of that stuff, but I don't know. But I didn't pay that much attention to all that. I just remember seeing it.
Yeah, he did a lot for having one testy.
How do you feel about the spandex outfits to make them more aerodynamic?
I feel like
It's good for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that would, especially like in cold weather and stuff, I feel like that would not help. Because there's like no windbreak there. There's no gap between you and your clothes at all. So you're just going to feel all that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't necessarily think it's for cold weather, but
Yeah, but they get out there and do that stuff in the wintertime too.
But you're moving. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
they're not just lollygagging around. They're like hardcore, like
they probably like that. Then they're probably burning up.
getting to point A to point B as fast as they can.
I don't know. I just feel like the incremental speed that you would gain from that, especially considering they're driving on like the mountainous, hilly, curvy roads around here.
Well, yeah, I mean, to a certain level, I'm sure it helps the pros, the guys
If you're
in the Tour de
Olympics,
France. Right.
I get it.
You know, it's probably more form over fashion here. You know, you don't want to wear something loose that'll get caught in the chains and stuff like that. But other than that, you know, yeah, I mean, I don't think that is going to, you know, we're timing
Yeah.
how long I did my lap around South Knox.
Men in,
stuff like that.
in spandex freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's so
I
weird.
think it's more of a flex than anything. But I mean, I used to wear some spandex, but it was underneath my shorts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holding everything in place instead of showing it off.
Is it supposed to be like the same effect as like for swimmers because they're like
Yeah,
the caps and shaving their legs?
Aerodynamics.
And, yeah. I get that though because water friction that actually is a thing, but
Air.
I don't know.
That's why I shave my head, so I'm more.
Again, at the Olympic level, sure.
Yeah. I'm sure in the racing levels, but yeah.
In Knoxville,
I can't tell a
Tennessee-
difference. So I'm faster than Tyler because he has hair and I don't. So.
You probably are faster than Tyler. Yeah.
Probably. I'm out of breath walking up the stairs, so I'm not gonna go too far.
Again, vitamins. Have you ever been to the Creeper Trail in Virginia?
I have not. No idea what that is.
What?
I've seen it on my way home, and I have a friend that lives over that way, and I know he rides it a lot. But yeah, they changed the railroad, and make it into trails and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's like 34 miles long, and that was like the number one, like, youth group Christian organization at school, like whatever. They love to go to the Creeper Trail for some reason.
Yeah, no idea what that is.
But I always opted out of that. Even whenever youth groups would go on like amusement park trips and stuff like that, I would go to do like the volunteer work and stuff like that. But once we got into the amusement park, I basically hung back with like one of the chaperones, and I was like, I'll hold everyone's stuff while they go on the rides. Like, and that, hence the no broken bones.
She's been a scaredy cat her whole
I was
life.
going to say, I'll be the hall monitor.
I'm scared of heights, but I still like my cousins always drug me onto the roller coasters. So I don't like Ferris wheels, but I'll do roller coasters because you're not high for very long. It's pretty quick.
Drop fast.
It's the being high and being just hanging out there. That's the part that I can't do. Like the clicking up the roller coaster as you get ready to drop. That part's the bad part.
The unnatural force, I don't feel like my body should ever be like vaulted that quickly. That freaks me out because I'm like, what if one malfunction happens and you just go flying out of the thing? The first roller coaster I ever went on was the biggest one at Six Flags at the time. It was Goliath. It was the tallest one. I don't think it had any loops, but I like started to panic and I was ready to I was like, never mind, I'm not going to do this. My friend goes, whoosh, and like shut the thing, and I wasn't sitting down in my seat because I was trying to get up. So like, and once you click it down, it doesn't come back up. So it was like I was adjusted in there funky, And the whole time I was like, I'm going to fly out of this thing. So I was holding on to it for dear life. It was so sketchy.
I mean, I grew up in the country, so like to go to my friend's house, like a lot of times we'd ride bikes and we would have to meet halfway or whatever, and he was a couple miles away, or somebody would have to take you, and parent-wise and stuff like that. So we would often go meet, and then we would get in trouble. I remember one time I was riding behind him and I was trying to hit his back tire with my front tire. That did not end well. I went over my handlebars. Another time I hit my front brake too hard.
Right over the
handlebars.
Yeah.
Knocked the wind out of him. I remember laying on the ground, literally not being able to catch your breath. And then in college, when I bought my mountain bike, I remember putting it together. My buddy was over, and we have a 700-foot front drive going down a hill. And I remember putting it together and immediately riding down my hill. Like, no little test run around the house. I just rode it down, and it held together, but my steering wheel was a little loose. I had to tighten it up when I got back up, but it could have been horribly wrong going downhill, because I've seen handlebars pop off before. But, I mean, the amount of sketchy ramps we used to build as a kid, all you needed was a little bit of plywood and a couple bricks or a block, and you had a ramp.
Yep, that was us too.
Sketchy.
I can't tell you how many times I've done that and it fall down or something, and I've went over the top of the handlebars. So done that too.
Or you
I
get
want to
somebody,
feel alive.
You find a hole.
to lay on the other side of it.
Oh, God.
You try to jump over them.
I don't know how any of us lived.
Y'all are like a scene from Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah,
That was like my whole childhood.
because we had to play outside. I mean, there wasn't.
Yeah.
When I was young, there wasn't any video games.
Well, we had video games because PlayStation was out when I was, the age of riding bikes and stuff. But it was like my grandma, we always stayed at her house because she was the gathering point for me and my cousins. And so us and the neighborhood kids were always out playing. But like my grandma was like, if it's not raining, you're outside. I don't care if it's 112 degrees, you're outside. There's shade out there. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, I'm thirsty. And she's like, there's a water hose. Don't come in this house.
Good luck.
Same here. But then I started riding motorcycle. I mean, I remember I used to ride it to baseball practice in my high school years. Now, my parents thought I was taking the backwoods the whole way there. I was taking the backwoods until I was out of sight, and then I was on the main road with it. Never got chased. Never once got chased. But yeah, I rode the whole way there, other than to get out of sight. But
Did you wear a helmet?
oh yeah, I wouldn't ride without one. Even if the laws were different, I wouldn't not wear a helmet. Now riding bike, that's probably people wear helmets now. I never once wore a helmet. Even skiing, people are wearing helmets now.
Yeah.
I can understand it snowboarding, because when you fall, you hit butt first and then head. But yeah, we never wore any kind of safety equipment. No, I mean, when I rollerbladed, I wore knee and elbow pads, but I don't think I never had a helmet.
I'd be less concerned about my knees than I would be my head. Well, I guess you kind of look a little bit like a nerd if you were wearing it while you're
I mean, I wasn't like downhill racing, rollerblading, but rollerblade around the apartment complex.
That's how a lot of people got broke elbows.
Probably.
Landing and hitting.
Yeah. I never heard anything that way, but mine was all motorcycle. That was ACL, wrist, just fall. So just playing.
No big deal. Well, speaking of, I've heard you say whatever you fall and like hit your head called a header before.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a real term.
I thought you made that up.
I thought so too. So apparently there was a penny farthing bicycle that had the big wheel in the front and then the small one in the back. And so they were often thrown over the handlebars because of the poor design. And that's where the term header came from, because they would go over the handlebars and usually hit their head
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did not make it up.
I thought about Todd this morning. My cats were meow, meow, meow. And I was like, all right, I'll feed yuns here in a minute. Like, and then I'm like, I just said yuns. And then I remembered him talking about being yunzers, and then I started saying yuns, and I was like, how long have I been saying that?
You're in my head.
Gotcha. Yeah, don't do a header.
It does. It's not fun, especially over the handlebars.
But
Yeah, I can't
apparently
even imagine it now.
They've got a bicycle that you can fold up and put into a backpack now.
I've seen a lot of variations of that.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
That's true. Start to fold up while you're riding.
Well, you see a lot on the back of like RVs and stuff like that fold up. They might not fold that small like that one, but that's at least fold in half, so they're half the size, and the width wise, they get a lot smaller and stuff like that. I don't know how easy they are to ride.
I mean, I feel like you're just adding more brake points to the bike, but yeah.
Locked in. Locks in place. Just make sure it's locked.
Maybe in like if you had to ride it around a city where you're not necessarily going as fast, and then you want to like get on a bus or something and carry it in your backpack, that would make sense. But
probably what they're for.
And if it's electric.
I saw a girl, I think it might have been while we were in Texas, and she had on she was riding a bike. She had on a helmet. She had on all the things. And then she had a little thing sticking out from her glasses.
Mirror.
That had just like, it looks like one of those mirrors that the dentist puts in your
Oh,
mouth.
yeah.
See behind you.
And it was like sticking to her glasses. And I'm like, nice rearview mirror.
I've seen them on handlebars, but I haven't seen.
I've seen them. Yeah,
I'm like, how do you-
The racers, some of them wear that so they can peek behind them
How do you see that when it's attached to your glasses? I don't know.
without turning.
You just
Yeah.
kind of look at your peripheral. I don't know. That's, yeah.
I remember decorating your bike with put the plastic tubes on your spokes, and you had the different handlebar handles and streamers and horns, ringer. Those were the early bikes, the little BMX with the.
Putting the soda can in the tire or the
I don't think
playing cards to make it sound like
I've
it.
seen playing cards done. They had some sort of, I think it was a Hot Wheels branded, something you put on your tire or something back there that made it sound like a Hot Wheel, stuff like that. Or maybe it was Big Wheel. That was another thing we rode down our hill, big wheels. We would just take our feet off.
What's that?
Ride a big wheel down our hill.
What's a big wheel?
Big.
It's like
A
a
tricycle.
Yeah.
Had a front wheel with you could pedal, and then you kind of could slide around. But it basically was a tripod or a tricycle, but you kind of sat back.
It was a longer bodied, lower sitting with big wheels.
I'll show you a picture. But you would ride it down our hill.
I didn't know they had them that far back, Todd.
Yeah, they did. That was probably when they got. You would have to take your feet off the pedal because you couldn't keep up with it.
That was a solid try.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
And they had a lot of different versions. Then they came out with the one that had a brake on the back, so you could do the little slide out or kick the butt end around and stuff like that. But yeah, you couldn't. You'd have to take your feet off the.
Oh yeah, if they got going fast, there was no.
And our pedals were built different back then. They had these metal claws like on it. Like now, they have the ones where you snap in and stuff like that. But these ones were just metal
shin busters.
Yeah.
Would chew you up.
Some of the mountain biking bikes still have those. I mean, they're crazy spikes on the pedals, and I'm like, that's so dangerous.
Yeah. You need to wear shin pads just to deal with those things.
Yeah.
I've never wanted a mountain bike. Nope.
It's so sketchy. It's like, I don't know, you land wrong on a rock. Because, I mean, you come off of a jump, and then you're landed onto uneven rocks and with drop-offs, and it just sounds treacherous.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those videos where they've got the GoPro and you watch them and they're on these like really narrow trails with drop-offs on either side. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't even like watching the videos. It makes my hands sweaty just watching.
I love skiing, and I'll go through some trees and stuff like that, but no, I'm not on a bike.
I started to run on some of the trails in Baker Creek, and it was after a rain. And technically the trails were mostly dry, but there was definitely a red clay puddle. I almost immediately slipped and fell in that puddle, was covered in mud, and I called it a day. So I gave it a try.
Yeah, that red clay mud it's rough.
You can't ever get it out of your shoes.
Well, what do you think about e-bikes? Are those cheating?
No, I mean, depending on obviously you're not riding it to get in shape or anything like that, but, they're pretty incredible what they can do now and the ranges they're coming out with. But, you always see a lot of, they're governed to certain speeds and stuff like that, and then you can buy kits to get rid of those restraints and stuff like that, and it'll up the speed and stuff like that. So, but do you need a license? Where can you ride them? I think that's where it gets in.
Yeah.
If you're riding on the trails, and you're flying along, you're going to be a danger, or you're riding it down the greenway or the.
And that's like in Knoxville with those electric scooters. They told everybody you weren't allowed to ride them on the sidewalks anymore. They have to be on the road.
What?
I didn't. Yeah, they were saying like you can't be on the pedestrian walkways. You have to be on the road. Yeah, it's crazy.
I can understand it.
Did they get rid of those?
Both ways. I still see them.
There was a company that was everywhere up there, and they got rid of those, and now they have Lime or something. I don't know. There's a couple of them that are still up there, and you'll see them lined up. Like Gay Street has a spot where there's a bunch of them lined up down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think where you get in trouble is with those or with the e-bikes, someone riding on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
And you got pedestrians walking and stuff like that. I could care less if it's going down West Knoxville, on the sidewalk and there's no one walking on it and stuff like that. But Gay Street and stuff like that, I could totally see it. But, trying to do it on a greenway, you're going to kill somebody or get killed.
Yeah, and then you ride it in the road, and the cars do not care.
Oh, that's where it gets,
Well, and they don't. People on those scooters, they don't pay attention. They'll just zip right out in front of you. They don't care.
I mean, that's why I stopped riding motorcycles, because just people are too distracted. I mean, hell, I've gotten in 2 automobile accidents in the last 2 months, and neither of them are my fault. So I would be scared to death riding a motorcycle these days.
People they don't pay attention. They just don't care.
And that's what both of them were. Not paying attention.
I wish every car had that automatic braking feature.
Yeah.
We're getting there, though. Eventually, cars are just going to stop themselves and drive themselves. And like my car, pretty much, it does its own thing if I engage the steering assist.
Yeah.
If you come back saying you got in an accident, we'll know it's your fault.
Knock on wood.
No. Let me just...
Well, so the longest bike ever built, it was in the Netherlands in 2015. It was 116 feet long, and it could hold up to 35 riders.
That's crazy.
Were they all pedaling?
I don't know. I would assume so, but kind of like those tandem bikes.
Yeah. Did they have the little, I don't even know what you call them.
Oh, those little bars.
Bars where you have to pedal,
on.
yeah. Did they have those?
We didn't see any in Texas, although I don't know. Those might be a thing if it were warmer or if it were busier. I don't know.
They have them in Nashville. And
We're about to go to Nashville in April, and I feel like that's kind of warming up to wedding season where they're going to have bachelorette parties, and we're probably going to see a lot of those.
Now, that's not a bike, but at least you're getting a little exercise in.
Do you actually have to pedal in order to propel those?
I don't really know how exactly that one works. I think if everyone's working, you don't have to put in too much effort. But like if one person's doing it, not totally sure.
You got one person pulling 3 people.
Well, it's like 8 or 10, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've never done one, so I was just curious. I don't even know if I've seen one in live.
I don't think I ever have.
I've only been to Nashville, like in the downtown area, one time.
You're not missing much.
It looked like a lot of really overpriced. Like you're gonna have
It got very touristy.
Yeah.
all the country music stars have their own bar that's going to be a $20 cover just to walk through the door. And
I mean, as long as you go knowing that, I mean, it's what it is. But
yeah.
But you can take a picture with the chair that Morgan Wallen threw off of the balcony for $20. So.
Leave them Broadway chairs alone.
And the cops still stand there.
They actually have a plaque right there dedicated to that, and you literally can pay the $20 to take a picture with the actual chair.
What's more country than somebody doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, what's more rock star than a group trashing a hotel room? That's country there. How many times has that happened? I bet it's happened more than, especially before social media. It happened more than once.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm sure.
There's probably been more thrown than that.
Yeah, but I'm excited to try some Nashville hot chicken. We were again supposed to do that.
I saw somebody with chicken and waffles. Was that you, Tyler?
TJ had the chicken and waffles. That was the only thing good at that entire restaurant.
Don't I bring that up all the time? Except
Yeah,
didn't have any gravy.
Why would anybody want gravy with chicken and waffles?
It's on your waffle.
No, the syrup goes on the waffle.
I think it'd be good.
I mean, maybe, but I don't want to mix those two things.
He doesn't want to admit that.
Okay, gravy and chicken strips. Yes, you can go to
Waffles.
No, you can you can go to Dairy Queen and get their basket, and it comes with gravy and fries and chicken strips.
And then you could
But no
also
waffle.
at Dairy Queen. No, maybe not Dairy Queen. They didn't have gravy. Ugh. But there are places that they serve the chicken gravy and then they give you a piece of toast. Well, a waffle is basically toast, just a tad sweeter.
Kinda, yeah. I don't know.
He
I would try it, but I don't think I would want that just because, like, I wouldn't order that if I went to a restaurant. Give me the chicken and waffles and gravy instead of syrup. What?
I mean, it's almost like when you do chicken and slicks. That kind of texture.
The heck is that?
Some of you guys call it. It might be chicken pot pie.
Oh yeah, okay.
But you know how some people make it, where it's just with the big dumplings and stuff like that, instead of a biscuit.
So chicken and dumplings?
So there's,
but not a soup version.
This gets controversial. So what somebody calls chicken and what was I talking about? Chicken. They're called slicks, is what they call them.
I don't think that that's a real thing.
It's a slippery
Well, some people
biscuit.
call that chicken pot pie,
I mean, if it's in a pie,
but it's not.
then it's
But some
not.
people call that chicken pot pie.
I'm gonna have to look up chicken slicks now because, and I don't know that I want to Google
What's
that.
like your chicken and dumplings? If you go to not Chick-fil-A, where am I thinking of?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. That's it. Crack Barrel. It's like that, but they call it chicken and slits. It's just bigger.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'll have to look that up because I can't mental visual that.
So there was almost a space bicycle.
That sounds silly.
NASA came up with the design in 2013 so the astronauts could use it on the moon and like move around quicker.
As opposed to...
I don't know. I'm like, couldn't you put a drone on the moon and just kind of like drive the drone around?
That would make way too much sense.
They had the helicopter, but...
On the moon?
Where was the helicopter at?
Probably a lot of gas.
I think that was Mars. They had the helicopter that crashed.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know how physics work on the, I don't know how physics work here.
I don't know how a bike would work on the moon. You're just bouncing around. Yeah, I don't have any idea. Yeah, that's chicken and dumplings.
They call it chicken slicks.
It's like a soup of chicken and dumplings.
It's almost like a chicken noodle soup too.
Yeah, kinda. Well, the other one was.
Yeah, well, the one was, but it's more with gravy. Like a dumpling.
Yeah, that's weird.
Just different.
You
name
all
for
eat
it.
chili on spaghetti, so I'm really looking to you for culinary advice.
I
What?
don't do that.
Chicken on wait.
Or not chicken.
Chili on spaghetti.
Chili on spaghetti, yeah.
No.
It's not me. That's Cincinnati.
It's all the same up there.
Yankee
You all do all the
stuff.
same stuff.
We're a little farther north than them.
Yankee stuff. That feels like something you would find in like England. That's how foreign that feels.
I think that's
Like
kind of
beans with breakfast.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Dutch, probably.
That's yeah. You can keep it.
Well, I know that you all probably haven't been, and it'd be a little weird if you had, but Safety City?
No.
No.
I've not been yet.
I've only seen pictures from like other agents and mostly Cassidy.
Yeah. It looks really cool. I think we're going to try to go this summer. Before, Bellamy's a runner, so he's kind of hard to keep up with, but now I think he might stay with us a little bit better, especially with bikes going everywhere.
You
But
don't want to get the kid leash.
it feels so wrong to like walk him around on a leash. Like, people definitely judge you. We tried it for like a moment at the beach, and at the same time, he hangs out with a lot of dogs in his life. He was walking around barking, and
Because you had
I
him on
don't know, but he was barking, and I was like, "Don't do that." But then if he tries to fight it, then you're almost like dragging him. It just looks bad. So
You just get him the hillies, and then you can just roll
then
him off.
he's gone. He's gone. He'll find a new family if we give him a faster way to get away.
I mean, don't let go of the leash. You just roll him around instead of dragging him.
I guess I had like separation anxiety or something when I was a kid. Like, I stayed with my parents, but he's just like, see you later. I've lived a
Do
great
you
life.
even remember that? I mean, I don't remember it.
Well, my
being
mom
that
told
way.
me. And I also remember being like, oh my gosh, is my mom in another house? I don't know.
I remember getting lost one time somewhere, 5 and dime or something. They left me.
Yeah, the Safety City, it looks pretty cool. Like, it's free admission, and it's a miniature Knoxville.
Yeah, didn't they have it Christmased up? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It does
Yeah.
look pretty cool, though. I'll give them that. Like, it's cool that they were able to build that big of a little thing.
Be fun to paintball there or something.
Yeah, the Christmas thing, I had friends suggesting going to that, and I saw the rules where it was like, the kids can't touch the lights, they can't leave and walk in the grassy area. And again, I was like, okay, so that's immediately what Bellamy's gonna go for.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh my gosh, there's a cord.
I mean, I don't know how you don't, especially you got kids on bikes and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and I feel like it's pure chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's too many
Controlled chaos.
too many rules for a kid thing.
exactly. I feel the same way.
Let them be kids.
Yeah, it's like you can only walk on the sidewalks and then bikes in the road, and I'm like, good luck telling that to a 3-year-old.
Yeah. How about they charge $5 admission and then use that money to put turf down, and then you don't have to worry about the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know where it's at.
I'm not sure either, to be honest.
I can't remember. I think it's close to our house, like around South Knoxville area.
Of
Is it
course.
is it like Chuck E. Cheese? You can't get in if you don't have kids?
I think you can get into Chuck E. Cheese without kids.
Oh, well, you should not be allowed to go to Chuck E. Cheese without kids.
But then again, I've not tried to get into Chuck E. Cheese
not
since
going.
I was a kid, so I'm not sure.
I mean, it's probably good because I would be like up in the tunnel just playing like a kid. So,
jeez.
Get stuck in said tunnel.
yeah, the fire department would have to cut me out.
Balls.
Those things are nasty, though. Like, you know, all those
I
kids
wasn't
crawling
getting-
around
I wasn't
through all
getting-
the. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, the McDonald's ball pit always like had a funky smell to it.
yeah.
Like pee?
Gross.
It was-
Pee, kid feet.
It was very specific, and I have no words.
Yeah, I don't even want
Yeah.
to. Don't even want to imagine.
Yeah, ball pits used to be a big thing, like Burger King, McDonald's, all
Yeah.
that, and now they're gone.
The play place. That's probably why they were breeding grounds for gross.
Probably.
But I also remember there being some horror stories with people like throwing needles and stuff in there. So
You and your urban legends. and
Where do you
stuff
get
like
your
that.
news from Reddit?
Yeah.
oh.
It's like or Halloween time with the razor blades and candy and stuff. There's always like rumors, but there's never been
Feel
a
like
reported
it-
case.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like it actually happened. Some junkie just tossed their needle in there.
Tyler spreading fear, selling. That's how.
I'm gonna bring it back, Todd. I'm gonna bring back all of the old urban legends, and
I'm going to bring back fear.
yes, no, there's gonna be plenty of that in the next 4 years. I had to get my political statement in there.
Okay. That was a great episode today. We missed Nick, but tune in next week. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, podcast.
Stay warm.
Yeah, it's cold out there. See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. If you or someone you know is thinking about buying or selling real estate in East Tennessee, email us at holler@yarpod.com. You can also reach Brittany Hawkins at 423-270-9572, Todd Huber at 865-456-0101, Tyler Letner at 865-816-0076, and Nick Cantey at 865-250-5167. Our office at Wallace Real Estate can be reached at 865-584-4000. Make sure to ask for YARPod. See y'all next week.